13th, 8 a.m. It's time for Coffee Talk. Rise and shine, friends. Thanks for hanging out. We do this just about 7 days a week. My apologies. I was in a comatose-like state yesterday morning when we were supposed to be doing our Coffee Talk. I worked a 17-hour workday the day before and got off work at 6:15, got out of there. And I was not going to do Coffee Talk. And as a matter of fact, I don't know if you could see it in my eyes. I am still really beat up a little bit. So anyway, here we are. I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. I have to turn my body back over to do the morning shows the next 5 days, starting tomorrow, continuing into early next week. So my body hates me. Anyway, enough about me. Let's talk about you. This is not a bad first date, for goodness sake. Here's a live look outside, and this is down in the tourist district. Can't really see much. Yeah, we've got low cloudiness. Believe it or not, the radar is not all that active. It's just some clouds and even some fog. Let's look at the visibility map around town, and there you go. Kissimmee, down in this area at about a 2-mile visibility. It's more low clouds than it is anything. Around 1.5 miles into land, down to near nothing here in Ocala, and Palm Coast at about a 1/4 mile or so. So the visibility is not great this morning. Certainly the low clouds. I'm just looking just out of curiosity. Let's check the weather. Yeah, I mean, Orlando, let's see here. KISM. Weather IFR, yeah. So a few at 200, scattered at 3,600. They're reporting mist. If we look at KORL, which is downtown Orlando, they're VFR, but it's special VFR. So yeah, a few at 700. KMCO, IFR, broken at 800, 5 statute mile visibility, and you can certainly see that there. So low cloudiness, all of that fun stuff. We look at the first warning Doppler radar, though, and we just don't have much to track there. So it's not like there's a bunch of rain. It's just kind of like that low cloudiness and that mist. All right? All right, 78 in Orlando, 77 in Leesburg. It's 75 up in Ocala. Oh, it is a warm start to the day once again. It's kind of funny. When I left the station yesterday morning, you could definitely tell a warm front had moved through, like for real, because the temperatures were just gross outside. Winds continue to come out of generally the south-ish, southwest-ish. They're light for now, but through the day today, it's going to be a nice warm wind. It's going to help to warm up our temperatures a little bit. So here's where we go. 84 by 11 o'clock. It's going to be a toasty day today. 91 degrees, our high temperature. Yeah, couple of showers. Not too bad. Just a little bit of rain around. Right? Yeah. 20%, we can handle that. Partly cloudy skies. But when we look to the weather perspective, take a look and see what's doing, all right? Storm system still hanging over top of us, but we are going to eventually get a cold front sweeping into our area. And it is that cold front, after all, that changes the game. So there we are, showers around this afternoon. Here's our overall surface map for the day, okay? Looking ahead to tomorrow, a few showers, but what's that on the left side of our screen? Is it? Could it be? Should it be? Would it be? That's right. It's a cool front. It's ushering in cooler, drier air for Central Florida. Y'all, this is not a drill. We've got the real deal moving in. So looking at our weekend forecast, okay? Tomorrow does include some additional clouds. It's going to be warm. I like how it says cool afternoon, but it doesn't fit the framework there on Sunday, the graphic. That's bothering me. But what a difference it is. Whatever we're doing on Sunday together, can we be outside? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh. I woke up at 6 o'clock today. Slept right through my alarm. Man. So we've got some significant changes. Now, the good news is the rain chances are going down. So for high school football tonight, this could be a fun game. West Volusia, Seminole getting together there. Partly cloudy skies. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be warm. It's going to be muggy. Don't forget about that. Stella hair. But it's going to be improving. So here we are today, miserable. That humidity, those dew points, miserable. Miserable. Let's look at the dew points around Central Florida. I haven't even looked at this. Yeah. 78, 79. So, yeah, that's miserable. That is miserable. But we do have some cool air moving in. And when we talk about cool air, people, this is a biggie. Monday afternoon, what? I closed my eyes all day yesterday, and this is what happens? Mother Nature throws some real cool air at us? I'll take it. Wow. You guys, you girls, are y'all ready? Listen, I've got my Tampa Bay Bucks. It's not a creamsicle shirt. It's a gray long sleeve shirt, and it's got the old Buccaneer logo on it. It does have some creamsicle colors. That's what I shall be wearing. All excited. I'll wear it Sunday, so it's going to be a little early. For the cool air, at least. Now, if you're wanting to head over to the Bucks game on Sunday, since we're talking about it, it's going to be late in the day, but look at those temperatures. What? That is going to feel so good. Don says that just means you need more sleep. You gave us some cool weather. Yeah, I definitely need more sleep. But I'm not the only one that could use it. Now, one of probably the last days that we can use this forecast graphic. Give me 2 seconds to find the darn thing. Give me a minute. Stand by. Okay. All right. So it's going to be one of the last days that we can use this graphic, but the pool forecast. If you've got a heater, then it's a great day. Aside from an isolated shower, it's going to be muggy. 91 degrees our high temperature. But if you're like me and your pool heater's not working, then you're like my water in my pool is chilly. I stuck my toe in it the other day and I was like, not doing that. So I think I need to get my pool heater fixed, and then still probably won't heat it much. But today's a good pool day. What happens afterward? I mean, this is just mind-numbing. We've got not only the tropics to talk about, by the way, but our long-range forecast as well. All right, so just so that you know. But let's just take a minute and soak this in. Because what the heck is happening here? 91 today. Okay, that stinks, but such is life. 87 tomorrow. All right. 82. Love that. 72. What is happening? Cats and dogs living together. Mass hysteria. Look at these morning lows, y'all. Tuesday morning. What? Mother Nature, you sassy vixen, you. I am so here for that. Thank you, Matt, for picking up on the reference. Thank you. What? So let's just take a minute here. Let's just take a minute and process this, okay? Okay, so for today, let's just look at today's forecast. We have to do it. 91, okay, that's fine. That's fine. Let's look at tomorrow's high temperatures. That's fine. We can handle that. Let's look at Sunday's high temperatures. That looks excellent. But wait, there's more. Or in the words of Steve Jobs, but there's one more thing. The temperatures are going to keep dropping. Let's look at Monday's high temperatures. There are no words. What are we going to do? Let's look at Tuesday morning. There are actually no words. What do I say to this? Lord, tell me how to say no to this. And my body's saying hell yes. That's so nice. And then Tuesday afternoon, load. Y'all, what is happening here? Justine, the word is fall. Thank you. That's what it is. Okay. Fall. Got it. Ay, 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 ay. Thank you, Taylor. Stephanie, thank you. Thank you, Stephanie. Although it's not it is a woman. It is another woman. Jeannie, there's another woman. Her name is Mother Nature. Oh, boy. All right. So we've got a little stretch here of some weather, y'all. We've got ourselves a little stretch. Bridget's asking, do the low temperatures last? Remember in Florida, they never do. They'll drop and then they'll come back up and then they'll drop and then they'll come back up. And fall is apparently, Diane says. The one thing, though, is that because we're in an El Nino year, this is where things get interesting, okay? Because in El Nino, you typically get the jet stream wanting to push further south, which means we typically get some decent cold fronts. Taylor says, that's one affair I'll support. Giddy up. The Reynolds pamphlet. Did you read this? All right. I'm never going to be president. Never was, never going to be. So the one thing with El Nino that's kind of interesting, and you'll see this in the BSR, and probably, we'll look at the GFS too. You're going to get a lot of storms moving in. It's going to bring some cold fronts and some cold air, but seriously, there's going to be a lot of storms around. So the inside baseball thing here, okay? We know in Central Florida, I'll pull up the graphics so that we make it official. This is one of those. Manalfi wanted the graphic. I made fun of him. What? Is that graphic? Some of these graphics that these folks have made over the last day or so. I'm not even showing that. That's trash. All right. So I typed tornado and I'm like, what is that thing? Okay, so Central Florida usually has 2 tornado seasons. You've got February through April where you get the stronger EF2 plus tornadoes. And then you have June, July, August, September, you get the weaker tornadoes. Yesterday was October. Today is October. We had an EF2 tornado touchdown yesterday morning. Seriously, we had an EF2. You don't usually get those this time of year. It was in the B section there of Palm Coast. 115 mile per hour winds. I was on the air with meteorologist Kellyanne Class during this event. Couple of things about that. Number one, the National Weather Service did not have a tornado warning issued. We were on the air saying this, A, looked like a tornado to us on radar. B, don't know why the heck they didn't issue a tornado warning. Their statement was, well, the people should have been hiding already. My response is, issue the damn warning. But that's what they have to do internally there in the National Weather Service office. To me, that was clear as day. And then there was debris that showed up on the radar. Okay, issue the warning. Anyway, it's October, and we had an EF2 tornado touchdown. And another EF2 over on the West Coast. So, it's going to be a long winter and spring, y'all. I'm just going to tell you straight up. It's going to be a long winter and spring because these storm systems are diving down. October, we had EF2s. Give Eric a little sleep and bingo, he's back. Oh, I'm tired as heck. Don't get me wrong. But I'm very passionate about this. Like, I kind of want to go back now that I've slept, and I want to listen to what Kellyanne and I were saying. Like, were we as forceful as in my mind we were? Because in my mind, I was just like, what are you guys doing? Yeah, the director should be demoted. Look, Brian, I'm not here to throw anybody under a bus. But I'm here to do my job, and my job as a meteorologist is like, that was very clearly not an okay scenario. I'm sure that they're going to have internal discussions. You know? And look, there's some times where tornado warnings are issued, and I'm just like, what are y'all looking at? Because I don't see it. Okay. That's why we trust you and the Wesh team. Thank you, David. I appreciate it. I love feisty and passionate Air Commando. As long as somebody does. Thank you. Patty, we got no warning at all. So messed up. The noise woke me because of the loud thunder and craziness going on. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, and that's why we were up with you. Because we were not going to stand for... well, look, I mean, if there's a threat of life or property, we're going to be with you. That's the way we operate. So, we were with you. We're going to be with you. Thank you, Fran. I appreciate it. All right. So anyway, it's October and we got that nasty storm system. And when you look at an El Nino as a whole, the severe weather risks in Florida, specifically the Southeast, because that jet stream wants to dive further south, you get more storminess and you get that jet stream dynamic, which throws together severe weather for us. So looking ahead, look for wetter than normal and a higher risk for severe weather. And for those of you that have tracked the weather with me for a while, the recurring cycle weather theory does not just apply to the tropics. What? Yeah, like while I'm developing my hurricane forecast, logging yesterday and the day before, that was a severe weather event for Florida. Guess what? That's going to recycle again during the winter time. And that's going to be, to me, we're going to have opportunities for severe weather. And looking long range, whether it be on the models or on the BSR, there are other storm systems. I'm telling y'all, this can be active. Brian says, well, they should, because this isn't the first time this season that saw stuff like this happens with them. I know you're not throwing shade. I mean, I'm throwing a little shade, but you know what it is? That's not my job. And I'm going to do my job as absolutely best as I can until my body literally falls apart like it did at like 6:15 yesterday morning. But in a day and age where there is an expectation that we get it right. Technology's gotten better. We're really, really good at doing the weather. We're not perfect, but we're really good at it. You need to be really good at it. And that's just it. Also, you need to have ways to be warned. And we talked with, if you remember during the quiet season last year, we talked with meteorologist Tony Cristaldi at the National Weather Service in Melbourne. And it blew me away when he said that the penetration of weather radios is like 10%. So for all of us that have these sexy little smartphones, make sure you've got ways to be alerted. One way is the Wesh app, right? Download the Wesh app and make sure to turn on your location services. And then after that, you can actually make sure. What I say is when the weather's, just normal procedure for me is storm approaching. Yeah, I've got those notifications. Lightning nearby. Yeah, I've got those notifications. And then like when there's an event at night, I'll turn those off because I don't care if there's a storm approaching at night. I'm going to be sleeping. But I always leave the watches and warnings turned on. I always leave the watches and warnings turned on. Always. That's vital. That's the crap that's going to wake you up. Ann says, 2:30 a.m. alerted and phone call to seek shelter immediately. Glad my phone was on. Every single time I have ever been to a scene where a tornado has hit, every single time, the folks have said, I'm just glad that I was awakened, whether it was the phone or whatever it was. And so vital, just vital to have a way to be warned. And you don't have to use the WESH app. I think the Red Cross might have an app. I think maybe NOAA has. There's a bunch of third-party apps. I can only talk to you about the WESH app because I've helped the developers put things into it. And fun fact, by the way, you have access to our interactive radar on the WESH app. I don't know if you knew this. Let me show you. I'm not going to show you the app, but I will show it to you on the website. WESH.com. Okay. All right. So here is WESH.com. We all know it. We all know it. We all love it. All right. We hit the navigation tab. I'll bring it full screen just so that you can see everything. Because it's the same on the app. And if you click on the... Yeah, I know. Click on the weather page. And if you click on the View Interactive Radar, it's the exact same on the app. But here's the key. I want you to really, really watch this part. Bottom right corner, the Layers button. Okay, because this is pro tip. Pro tip. Okay? Bottom right corner, the Layers button. It defaults to radar. Now, what that is, that's the National Radar Composite. And that's great because you can zoom out and you can look at all the stuff down in South Florida. Who cares? If you click right here, first warning live Doppler radar. Guess what? You're not going to get national radar because this is literally my radar. You know how you can tell? Because you got all my ground clutter. I clear out some of that ground clutter on TV, and you can actually see where just before the show, watch, I went and changed some settings, and you'll see it go from quiet, boom. So I was changing some of these settings just before the newscast, and you can kind of see where like the range was short, and then I decluttered it a bit. So I was tweaking it around, but that's how you do it. And that gives you a brand new radar image every single minute. Yeah, it's in your app. So, pro tip. Shameless plug. I don't even care. The boss has never once asked me to plug the app. I care. I'm in Vero. Robin, you're still in my radar range unless I'm in like severe weather mode. The boss has never asked me to plug the app. I do it because I think that it's got some really good information. Speaking of good information, I want to make sure everybody knows there are 2 rocket launches, and then let's go look at Tropics and Long Range real fast. There are 2 rocket launches scheduled. Real quick, want to mention, we'll start with the Falcon Heavy. Oh my goodness. The rocket I've never seen up close. 10:19 a.m., 40% probability of good weather. But if anybody can thread the needle through the clouds, it's going to be SpaceX. 10:19, 40% chance of good weather. Certainly we're hopeful from that. That's going to be off of 39A. That's the Psyche mission. And then tonight, off of 41 there, a Starlink mission. 60 increasing to 80% chance of good weather. Patty says tornado at 4:50 a.m. No phone alert. Then had tornado warnings to get to a safe place over 2 hours later, and I have no idea what they're looking at. My internet was knocked out right before the tornado. People were sleeping when it hit. Not happy about this. That's why there's no singular perfect thing, because your phone could fail, and I know a weather radio could fail. I will tell you, there is a service. I don't know if it's open to the public. I don't know if this is open to the public or not. Let me check. So there's this service called INWS. I don't know if I'm supposed to be telling you this. INWS. And this is what I use. This is how I get. If you want, full disclosure, this is what I use to get warnings. The INWS, the Interactive National Weather Service. And it sends me text messages. and things like that. So you can try and sign up for it. I don't know if it'll let you, but this is what I use. But I think WESH, the website, you can sign up for weather advisories. I don't know. If we click weather, I don't know. You used to be able to, but I don't know that you can anymore. Yeah. So, but if it works, it works. I don't know that it'll work, but you can try it. Jan, my phone goes into quiet mode after 10 p.m., but I allow the alerts and warnings to come through. Yeah, that's definitely the way to do it. Yeah. Jody, it's meant for those in official roles. Got it. Sorry. There's got to be other resources like that. So we'll have to look around and find it. But yeah, you've got to make sure that your phone will warn you. That's another thing. All right. Okay. Enough of that. We've got our things to work on. To the tropics, we've got Tropical Storm Sean out there, kind of sheared apart a little bit in the open Atlantic. Hurricane forecast has it becoming a remnant low and eventually fading on out. Back behind Sean, we have Invest 94 kind of bubbling up some decent convection. Not a quick former. And Hurricane Center says over the next 7 days' time, there's a high likelihood that 94 develops. And if it does, it would get the name Tammy. There are only 3 names left on the list this morning. Michelle says the Code Red app will even call and text you. Code Red? Code Red app. I've never heard of that. Mass emergency alert system. Interesting. Do you have to pay for it? High speed. Interesting. I've never heard of that before, but interesting. By the way, I think I have a sinus infection. I'm going to the doctor today, so I apologize for this. It's been like 3 weeks of this. Michelle says it's free. Okay, very cool. So Code Red app, we'll have to check that out. All right, so enough about that. Let's look at, give me a few seconds. I'll dial up the old computer models. All right, this is the GFS. There's that cold front, by the way. Lowered pressure, storm system north of us. High pressure building in. Next week looking beautiful. There's another like front/storm system around the 22nd. Oh my God, I do not want to do more overnights. We'll see. Interesting. And that thing bombs as it goes up the East Coast. We are in our new cycle, by the way. We are in our new cycle. And then a little something. Look at the Caribbean there. A little CAG. A little CAG. Toward the end of the forecast period. That's like the 29th. See that? Interesting. All right, so that's the GFS. Let's switch over. Let's look at the Euro. Front, moving away. High pressure building in. Decent front. Little something there around Puerto Rico on the 23rd, 24th. And ironically, the Euro is not showing any kind of a CAG there. All right. Now, BSR is one of the things that we use to try and look long range. If you're unfamiliar, this is one of those tools in our tool chest. I always like to say that we like to use both standard and some non-standard methods of forecasting. So let's just kind of come through here. Oh, Psyche's up to 85% favorable now, so that's good. All right. So this is October 17th, so this is next Tuesday, showing a storm system kind of working through the mid part of the Gulf toward us by mid to late next week. We kind of saw that on the GFS, right? So that could get interesting. Another cold front. Another storm system in front. That's around the 27th, 28th. And each of these look like they could have severe weather opportunities written on them. Honestly. That's a cold front. That's a cold front. That's like right around Halloween. That's just before Halloween. We could have a little cool Halloween this year. If you trust the BSR. Yeah, like Halloween. Like, that's Halloween-ish. So, that could be interesting. But, you know, when we go beyond that, if we look beyond kind of long range, there's this storm system here, and that's going to be interesting. That's like November 1st, November 2nd. I mean, if that low wants to be in that spot, we're talking severe weather in November. And then beyond that, there's another little front. High pressure. And then another storm system. That's October. That's like November 15th. So I'm seeing like 4 or 5 big ol' honking lows. They're not necessarily looking like tropical in nature, but I'm seeing like 4 or 5 big ol' lows the next month and a half. Which, when you see that, I could just tell you we really look like we are transitioning into a severe weather season. I don't love that for us, but that's just where we're at. All right. What happened on October 27th looks like a storm system. Doesn't look tropical maybe in nature, but looks like a severe weather event could be there. So, good gravy. Right now, just a 20% chance of rain Thursday. Have to watch and see how the models feel that out. Trish, so with the elevated storms in the El Nino pattern, will this translate to more and more systems in your LRC? Sorry if that's not a dumb question. Trying to understand what storms make the cut for your LRC. At the moment, I don't know yet. We have to see where they end up, if they end up over the ocean or if they're just land-based, that sort of thing. I would say that the storm system that we just had was off the shore the most time. So to me, I'm kind of thinking Florida Panhandle to Big Bend may be a hot spot for next year based on what we just saw the last couple days. Yeah. Brian says, stop, Eric. We're racing Daytona 24 Classic on an 11-1. Storms are stalking us, apparently. It's looking busy. It's looking busy. Yeah. It is. And don't stop decorating, Mike. I mean, I'm going to decorate too. Just may have some storms around. That's all. All right. All right. That's all I got. 8:33. Enough. Done. Questions, comments, anything? Debbie, I feel like a nap is in order. Oh, I'm taking a nap. My body is so mad at me. It has no idea what's up right now. Yeah, this upcoming week looks fabulous. Somebody just asked for the raw models on the temperatures, so here's the GFS for temperatures where we can laugh or we can buy into it. Yeah. What? GFS wants to go 69 for a high on Monday? What are you doing? Morning lows in the 50s. My God, that's great. And then 80s and then 70s. I mean, according to the GFS, like fall is here, brosuf. European, by the way. Let's check in on you, see how you're doing. I mean, kind of close. I like that. Bottles in the club. I like that. Little fall, never bad. GFS is always drunk. All right. Enough. Be the sunshine in someone else's day, y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out for Coffee Talk. I will see you tomorrow morning on West to New Sunrise. Good God. I can't believe it's already work day. And Coffee Talk at 8 o'clock. All right. Take care. Bye.